right, folks, we are back. It's the Info Warrior. We're going to keep going through your calls. Let's go to Steven in Texas. The call-in line is 866-582-9933. Steven, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, Jason.
How you doing?
Hey, great. First of all, I just wanted to say, like usual, while I was on hold, I was kind of brainstorming, and I came up with the perfect nickname for you.
Okay.
We're gonna start calling you the Berminator.
I would be lying if I said that's the first time I've heard that. But then again, Bermas goes with so many. I mean, I'm Thermos as a kid. I'm the spaceman because of the teeth. I mean, it's ruthless, my friend. But I like the Berminator. It's not too bad.
Yeah, because you're out to destroy the New World Order. So
I really am. I'm trying, brother. Jeez, man. It gets tougher and tougher every day.
Yeah. I wanted to mention a couple things about this so-called swine flu epidemic. First of all, I wanted to remind people and you, one of your callers a couple weeks ago mentioned this website, idemc.org.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah, and it's got right now, I'm looking at pandemic alert level 5, and I just happened to write this down. It's got Mexico, they give suspected infected, and it's got 13,367 in Mexico, and then the confirmed infected is 1,311. They're definitely the highest above everybody else.
We need to bring that site up. Hold on one second, Stephen. It's idemc.org, and I do remember bringing this up. This is the live, it's idemc.org, the live pandemic chart. I don't know why we haven't linked to this on Prison Planet. It's because I do a 3-hour show and I forget after the show sometimes. But yeah, talk about fear-mongering. It's like a live chart of where these viruses are. And there you go. There it is. Bring it up on the screen. Yeah. So go ahead, Stephen. Tell us more about it.
It says 181 dead in Mexico, and New Zealand's got the highest for quarantine. It's got 399. Of course, the USA has 1 dead, 269
New Zealand has quarantined 400 people, sir?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, my God. Well, who else is big on the quarantines? Let us know right now.
I think I remember, like, Austria.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who else was in there. Maybe like Brazil. But here's the thing I wanted to share with you. A personal story. I know somebody who was recently in jail here in Houston,
mm-hmm.
and he had to go through all these holding tanks on his way into the population of the jail. Well, one of the things he told me he had to do was go through the medical tank where they check you out. And one of the questions they asked him was, in the last 10 days, have you been outside the United States, visited any other country? Well, he had just been to Mexico for 9 days. Well, they kind of went berserk, and they told him he had to wear this mask. And here he said he was waiting in the holding tank for this officer would come in and check on them there, and kind of went off on him because he's not wearing his mask. Well, then the other people in the holding tank, he said, started going, hey, we're the ones that ought to get the mask. This guy's been to Mexico. He could be spreading the swine flu to everybody.
Oh, the fear just never stops. And I'm sure your friend is perfectly healthy and not buying into the fear.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's fine, But, I mean, without even confirming he has anything, they're just assuming because he visited Mexico, he's a carrier now and he's a potential spreader of this horrible disease that's going to kill us all.
It's just disgusting, Stephen. And how do you feel about the fact that they just redirected a plane today from, it was I think from Munich, Germany, and they stopped it at Boston Logan Airport just to take an old woman off wearing hazmat outfits and giving her an oxygen mask?
Oh, see, that's more of the visual effect,
mm-hmm.
Just to intimidate people. And, I mentioned this last week, and you guys have confirmed this. I'm absolutely convinced all of this is to get people to take on what will kill them, which is the vaccines. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, I thank you for the call. Always a great caller. Let's jump to Alex in Virginia. Alex, you're on the air. Yes, sir.
Hi, Alex. Yeah, I wanted to mention a couple of points. I heard in one of the GCN radio shows that the Mexican president, his name is Calderon. Calderon. I heard he's one of the members of Club of Rome, and
more than likely, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it. He's the president of Mexico, sir. He's absolutely a globalist.
Right, and the other thing also is I've been seeing a lot of choppers in my area.
Mm-hmm.
It's going like nonstop. It's just like going in circles. I don't know if that's has anything to do? Do you think they might be spraying some chemicals?
Well, I don't think they're spraying chemicals in the choppers. I mean, they're obviously doing the chemtrail thing. I mean, today, listen, it ain't exhaust. Today, they plastered the skies in X formations on my way to work, okay? I'm not making it up. I didn't just, imagine it. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We'll be back after this. 866-582-9933.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.
But you're still peasants as far as I can see. Working class hero is something to be.
All right, folks, we are back. We're going to continue to go to your calls. Victor, Stephen, Mark, Pete, John, and others. But first, I want to do a bit of a news blitz in this long segment. You don't think people can be evil? You don't think there's people out there that are just sick in the head, sycophants? Well, this is kind of a mainline article that's not talked about in the United States media because it's over in the UK. I guess there was a big thing about this baby P, and I guess his name was now called Peter, but he was a 2-year-old boy. And the 32-year-old boyfriend of this woman who had this baby, who was killed, just brutally killed. I mean, these people all got off from him dying. Kid had broken ribs, a spine that was broken, marks all over his body, bruises everywhere. 2-year-old. And you want to know what this guy was convicted of? Raping him. Raping 2-year-olds. Some people get off on that. They're called psychopaths. They're called sickos. And unfortunately, some of them also reside at the upper echelons of power. Believe it or not, read the Franklin cover-up. See what happened at the White House in the late 80s. Check it out. Check out the callboy ring that was run out of Barney Frank's apartment with his boyfriend. Oh, that wasn't a callboy ring, Jason. Just a few of those guys were under 18. What? Okay, so sex with young teenage boys is okay when you're a powerful congressional member or a senator or a lobbyist, somebody out in Washington. It's okay then. No big deal. Doesn't matter all over the mainstream media. People just forget about it. So I want to talk about that. And don't worry, if you're not scared of the flu yet, this online exhibit of the 1918 virus may help, where 40 to 100 million people died. So if you haven't bought into the fear-mongering, don't worry. You will. You can. Just go to this website. And don't worry if you're our MySpace friend, our White House MySpace friend, we'll just update you on the H1N1 virus. And then the U.S. is saying, this one's out of Reuters, the flu pandemic could overload the entire health system. A rapidly spreading flu outbreak may quickly overload a U.S. health system already straining from hospital closures, cuts in public health funding, a nursing shortage, and too many uninsured patients, health experts said on Friday. They said the threat of a flu pandemic caused by an unusual new strain, unusual new strain of H1N1. It's a 4-spot. It's very unusual. And again, there's no pigs that seem to have it. But that's going to shut it down. See, that's where they have the excuses to have you come be inoculated at your church, your local community center, makeshift hospitals, makeshift FEMA centers. World Health Organization's documents say this. I don't have the WHO document right in front of me, but we've been covering it for the last 3 days, folks. If you don't believe me, please go check the document out. Please, for the love of God, don't believe Jason Bermas. Oh, look what we have here. He just picks it up out of the stack. Here it is, the WHO document. Let me just read it for you one more time. This is out of section 1.4.2. Ensure the mechanisms exist for information sharing between national authorities, World Health Organization, and other United Nations agencies. World government rules in the case of a pandemic. It's right here. Coordinate with or use existing mechanisms set up by the implementation of the international health regulations. Now, what does the international health regulation really mean? Well, they reveal themselves in section 1.51. This is what the international health regulation means for you. During a pandemic, it may be necessary to overrule existing legislation or individual human rights. Doesn't matter what the laws are, doesn't matter about the Constitution, no Bill of Rights. We're just going to overrule them. Doesn't matter if you're a human being, you have no rights. We're better than you. We're bigger than you, and we tell you what to do. Examples are the enforcement of quarantine, overruling individual freedom of movement, you can't go anywhere, use of privately owned buildings for hospitals, just what I said, the makeshift centers at your churches, your community centers, your YMCAs, you name it. You name it. Off-license use of drugs. That means the drugs don't have to work. And if they make you sick and kill you, or they make you sick and you survive, guess what? No lawsuits. You just have to grin and bear it. They poisoned me. I lost my legs. My brain's damaged. I slur my speech now. I can't get it up anymore. Give me a break. Compulsory vaccination or implementation of emergency shifts in essential services. So again, that caller before the break says, all this mandatory vaccines you're talking about. I'm not talking about it. This is them talking. This is the World Health Organization document talking about it. These decisions need a legal framework to ensure transparent assessment and justification of the measures that are being considered and to ensure coherence with the international legislation, which is international health regulations. It's right in the document.